Hey, this is Pam Sherman with A Perfect Balance. And if you really want to learn how to level up your life, you should be listening to Time to Shine Today podcast with my good friend, Scott Ferguson. Let's level up.
Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. This is Scott Ferguson. We're episode 359 with the Perfect Balance Guru. You want to talk about some serious motivation, serious excitement, serious energy, then you're going to want to hear my good friend Pam Sherman as she kind of tells a really awesome story on her wake-up call. I'm not going to give away too much of it now, but it's definitely worth a listen to. Pam's authored multiple books, and I'm so blessed that she mailed them to me, and we've already started really digging into them. And she really works to help females, for the most part, level up their lives, to find the confidence to live and shine bright within their own skin. So if you're looking to gain that confidence, to transform your body and live up to your ultimate human potential, then make sure you break out your notebook or digital note taker, sit back and relax. And while you're at it, if you don't mind, hit the like button, share it, subscribe, all that other jazz, because it really helps our sponsors and affiliates. So without further ado, here's my really good friend, author of multiple books, and the owner of the Perfect Balance Guru, Pam Sherman. Let's level up. Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. This is Scott Ferguson, and I am super uber stoked to bring you my good friend, my beautiful friend Pam Sherman from The Perfect Balance. And Pam is like a no excuses person. She might wake up in the morning, not feel like doing it, but she knows she's got to get it done to get her body moving, to get the blood pumping. And the best part about it is she loves to pay it forward and help you do the same. Like, I'm going to put the author page in the show notes. Don't go there now, but she's written a ton of books that I can't wait to dig into, and I'm ashamed to say that I haven't yet. But her passion has always been health and wellness. She was a group exercise instructor and personal trainer for 20 years, as well as a running coach, mindset life coach, and food coach. Her career took a little bit of a turn because some driver decided to plow into her while she was on a little run. And luckily, she's still breathing air on this earth, and she's able to help level you up. So I'm going to tell you right now, break out your digital note taker or a pen and pad and paper, sit back and relax. You're going to absolutely love this because Pam is coming on. And Pam, please introduce yourself to Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
Hot pink.
Really?
Because it makes me happy. In fact, if I had a hot pink shirt, I'd wear it right now. Hot pink, bright orange, and turquoise. It's just the bright colors bring joy and happiness every time I see them.
I love that you said that because I'm having Time to Shine Today shirts made. Some of them are going to be hot pink. So I'm going to mail one out to you.
Yes.
You got to rock it in one of your videos with Squad. If you check her out on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, she absolutely kills it. And I'm ashamed to say I haven't followed her before, but I dug into her and I was like, wow. So seriously, welcome to the show. And I would love to hear your story of where you kind of started, Pam, to where, we'll talk a little bit about that accent as well.
Sure.
So what really triggered that to help people level up?
I grew up in a family with two big brothers, so I was always sporty. They always had to babysit me, so I was always, tagging along, football, whatever. And then my dad was actually an amazing runner in college and was one of those recreational runners that it was before it was popular. He ran, which you'd see somebody running in the 70s and you're like, what are they doing? And I asked one day if I can go for a run with him. And I ran 2 miles without stopping and felt like $1 million. I never stopped. Now, I was never very good, Scott. I was very middle of the road, but I just loved it. So continued through college or high school, college. My girlfriends and I went to the Ohio State University. we were not good enough to run there, but we decided to run the Columbus Marathon every year just because we love to compete.
Wow.
And I look back, I'm like, we were young and dumb. We didn't know any better. It was a long way to go, but it was fun. An annual thing we did for 8 years.
Was that in March timeframe or when was that?
October.
Okay. Because I always go to the Arnold in Columbus.
Oh, yeah.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Fall is the perfect time
Oh my gosh. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Yes. And then after college, I moved out to California and my first roommate was a group exercise instructor. And she and I would run and I'd take her classes. And she's like, hey, there's a class up at the junior college on how to be a group exercise instructor. I think you should take it. And I was like, okay. Sounds great.
Sure.
I was pregnant at the time. I knew I didn't want to work full time when I had kids. I did that. And then I thought, well, I might as well get my personal training certification because I think women that I have in class might want me to train them.
Absolutely.
And my career was born. I want to say it was very lucky, but I have been a trainer my whole life, even when I was a little kid. So that was what I was meant to do. I was born with motivation dripping out of my pores. So it's amazing for me to help inspire others on their health journey.
And I love that. So you were, what is your feeling on, because I've been wanting to ask you this on competition. Like, I know you mentioned that, you weren't quote unquote good enough to make the Buckeye, cross country team or whatnot. But what is your thoughts on competition?
I love competition. And as
Okay.
runners, you're competing with yourself. I continued to run after I finished doing marathons, I did half marathons. I was competing to beat my own time. I
Thank
think
you. I was wanting that answer, man.
yes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I'm super proud to say my PR in the half marathon is 140, and I worked very hard for that.
Wow.
And my PR in the marathon is 328, and I worked very hard for that. And it was my first marathon was a 438, so it was over an hour difference from my very first marathon. So competing with myself is the only thing I've ever done as a person in a solo sport. Right? Nothing wrong
Right.
with competition. It makes you work harder.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely. I'm 50 years old, and I know you shared your age with me too, but like we need that competition moving forward with life. I'm a big believer that dude in the mirror is the biggest, competition that I have to beat that guy from yesterday, or at least try to keep up. And, I compete in submission grappling, and it's luckily there's just people my age.
Yeah.
If not, I'd get tore up. But no, with that being said, like, do you train clients with one-on-one or group setting or both? Because I heard you mention the group setting, but where are you at with that right now?
I have some local clients that come to my backyard because I have a beautiful gym that I have
Saw
such
it
fun. It's
on
so fun,
IG.
so great. And I also have a private Facebook group coaching program called the Perfect Balance Tribe. And it's made up of women. I'm 55, so most of them 50 or over. And I motivate, inspire, encourage, and we talk about food, fitness, game, strategizing for weekends, holidays, because our society is set up for people to fail. There's crap all around us, and it takes work to be your healthiest self.
Yes.
So that's I do private and group coaching.
So when somebody comes to you, maybe in the private side of things, what have you found, or what is maybe some of your secret sauce, if you don't mind sharing, to maybe help them find their blind spots?
99% of people who come to me want to lose weight.
No way.
And my non-negotiable is you have to log on my Fitness Pal and we have to be friends because I have to see what you're eating, period.
Ooh, accountability. Love that. I never even thought of that. You know what? I'm going to add that into people that I have for mindset shifts and stuff like that, because diet, which I know you'll agree with me, or lifestyle that you live, not diet, I hate that word too, but the lifestyle that we live has so much to do with our energy and our mindset, correct?
Correct. And I'm 55, you're 50. When I was growing up, it was all about deprivation, eating less, eating nothing, where I'm telling my clients, eat more protein and eat more vegetables.
Love it.
Stay out of the pantry.
Right.
And I actually want to eat more to lose weight, not less.
Yes, I love it. And, maybe shop the supermarket or your Whole Foods or Sprouts on the outside of the aisles, right? And kind of try to live there instead of going those aisles.
You never need to go down the cereal aisle. It's nothing but crap.
I love it. Love it. So when someone's maybe come to you and you're in that discovery phase and they've shared their, MyFitnessPal with you and whatnot, is there any good question that you wish they would ask you but never do?
How can you help me stop from binging?
And it can go both ways on that binge. And what I mean by that, like, stop your Twinkie grabs and stuff like that, but also stop your starvation. Like, you almost binge towards starvation, I've heard you say, not in those words, but like, people think that not eating they'll lose weight.
Yeah. And really, women, I work with mostly women. I have a male client right now, but They eat because they're sad, happy, frustrated, lonely, bored, tired. I don't know if a lot of people actually feel hungry, and it's okay to be hungry and then
Mhm.
eat, as opposed to, oh, it's noon, I better eat some lunch.
Yeah.
And why are you binging? Is it you've had too much to drink? Because I know I don't drink anymore, but in my 40s, if I had one beer too many, it would lead me to overeating every
Oh
time.
my gosh.
Uh,
Absolutely. Yeah.
there's so many reasons. So looking at the behavior behind it, a friend of mine just she's going back to school. She's overwhelmed. It's her first week of classes. She told me she binged yesterday. I said, okay, I think it's because it's your first week of school and you're feeling overwhelmed. And she said, yes.
Mm.
So what can you do with your feelings besides eat your feelings? Can you journal? Can you take a nap? Can you call a friend? Can you walk your dog? It's just hard to stop when you're in that moment, like almost putting on the brakes, like, okay, I don't want to go there. What can I do with these feelings inside my body?
Right. And obviously that's a really an emotional kind of attachment to it. And I love what you
Yeah.
just said. It's like people will say, or it's been proven that thirst is a delayed indicator of hydration. I feel that hunger is also a delayed indication of you actually should be fueling your body. Now, again, what you put in your body, right?
Yes.
That makes all the sense. And if you get more, I always mess this word out, satiation-y foods, that are going to, like I heard you say vegetables, they will fill you with it and lessen that, but it'll also lead them to building muscle and burning the fat as well, correct? I'm just asking as a question, really.
Protein is the most satiating macronutrient.
Boom. Yes, you're right. Yes.
Fiber is the second. And when I tell my ladies who I coach, mostly ladies, to switch from their carb base, like just think of an English muffin and butter or peanut butter, which you're hungry an hour later because you can eat
Right.
5 of those, to a protein-based breakfast. I had a woman say, "Oh my God, I was full for hours." Like, I know that's what it does for you. It keeps you full. So you have less, like women, I think, spend so much time thinking about food. What's the next meal?
Sure.
When you're full, you don't think about that. You're like, okay, I can think about 800 other things.
Sure. Within your process or your protocol, do you have, for lack of a better term, recipes or how teach your clients how to shop for what they want to make? Because a lot of people are, they make, I'm a big believer that, winners make adjustments, mediocre people make excuses. So to make that
That's
adjustments, do you help them with when they become your client, maybe learn to shop, how to shop, what to have in your cupboard and whatnot?
Well, I have a digital, my favorite 20 recipes. It's on my website, but I
Oh,
try
okay.
to really keep it simple, Scott. Protein and veggies, protein and veggies. I love apples. Nobody ever got fat eating apples. I hate that the keto movement like villainized fruit. But when
Mm-hmm.
you keep it, my thing is keep it to real food. If your grandmother didn't recognize it, except for I think we need protein powder because women can't eat enough protein. But if your grandmother didn't recognize it, you shouldn't be eating it. It should be a very once in a while food.
Wow. I have to write that down. You recognize that you shouldn't be eating it. Wow. That's true too. Is it kind of an abridged version or a lowered version of the paleo is what you kind of
Eating
talked
real
about?
food. Yeah, single ingredient food is really always going to serve you best.
Love it. Love it. So have you seen the movie Back to the Future?
Of course.
Okay, let's get that DeLorean with Marty McFly.
Okay.
Let's go back to the Double Deuce, the 22-year-old,
Okay.
Pam. What kind
Okay.
of knowledge nuggets, that's what we call them here at Time to Shine today. What kind of knowledge nuggets might you drop on her? Not to change anything, except maybe
Okay.
getting hit by the car. But like,
No,
what would
no. That happened for me, not to
you know
me.
what?
That
Stop my question. I want to hear about this because I passed right over it. Please share that a
yeah.
little bit.
No, that is aside from asking my husband out, that is the best thing that ever happened to me.
Okay.
I was training for my girlfriends and I used to go to San Francisco to run the hot chocolate run every year. It was a 9.3 mile race and I was out. It's so interesting in hindsight. I'm a morning exerciser. Get up, do it. This day
Yes.
was in December of 2017, and my husband and I decided to finish the Christmas shopping for our kids. Went to the mall, went to lunch, saw a movie. I came home and I went out for a run at 3 o'clock. Now in California, it was December, beautiful, 50 degrees, no wind.
Sure.
I was running. I got to the 2 miles, looked okay. It was about 8:15 pace, really happy. And then a pizza delivery guy who took a right probably 25 times a day, looked left and turned right, and I was right there.
Oh.
So I did put my hand out and I did eat the windshield and then rolled off his car into the second lane. And luckily for me, it was a Sunday because that's a busy road. Nobody was there.
Right.
And I was able to crawl back to the sidewalk. And it was ended up being a great thing. Prior to that, I was a group exercise instructor and trainer, but I think the universe said, you need to get out and reach more people on their health journey. Because I was in such excellent shape, I had started strength training in 2014. I didn't break any bones.
Mm-hmm.
I lost 6 teeth in the process because I ate the windshield.
Awesome.
But I didn't.
I'm just kidding.
No,
It sounds like pain, man. Oh,
well,
my goodness.
your body's in shock. So really,
Yeah.
I mean, my mouth was sore and I couldn't eat solid food for 3 months. And it took 2 years to actually get the teeth back into my head.
Wow.
But I was running 6 weeks later. I was working out, a couple weeks later because I like to move my body.
And you took that to expand your reach.
Literally at that time, happened in December. In February, my friend introduced me to her neighbor who is a website designer. And I was like, I think I kind of want to reach more people. I can't be in the classroom. And she's like, sure, we can. And I'll create a YouTube channel. My daughter was a senior in high school. She's like, so I said, I want to write it. I can write. So I want to write a newsletter. She goes, okay, when people sign up, you need to give them something. So I started writing. I gave it back to her. She said, this is a book. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, just give me 10 more pages. And my first book, The Perfect Balanced Guide to Healthy Living, was born. I didn't even set out to write a book. And then I was helping my daughter's soccer team. I did strength training with them once a week, and the girls would tell me the awful things they would eat. So I wrote nutrition for athletes, for high school kids. Like, you shouldn't have Taco Bell. That's a food you rent. It doesn't do anything for your body. I know.
No, you're right.
So my books came one by one, really, in my recovery. I never, ever would have thought about writing any books. And they're not big, long books, 50, 60 pages.
Those are the best books.
They're no nonsense.
Yeah.
You get actual steps you can take to start getting better, healthier every day. That's it. That's
beautiful. That's beautiful that you took something that a lot of people would be like, oh, life is done, and then turned it into a plus. That's fantastic. So then let's get in that DeLorean with Marty McFly, but maybe go back to, again, 22 years old.
Okay.
Is there anything that you might tell her to maybe help her shorten a learning curve? Maybe blast through, maybe just level up just a little bit quicker?
Well, this is in the 80s before the internet, and some young people aren't even going to know what that means. At 22, I was my heaviest. We didn't know anything about nutrition. I was a marathon runner, but I ate like crap. I'm in college. I'm eating fast food, eating McDonald's. I carried an extra 35 pounds, which didn't help my marathoning at the time at all.
Right.
I would tell myself the same thing: is start eating more real food and stop eating less. Oh my God, boxes of Kraft mac and cheese. Back in the day.
Ramen noodles and mac and cheese. Oh, and then the Vienna sausages. Those, for some reason, I really took to those. Oh my gosh. So I
would say that, but there's one other thing. How deep can we go here?
As deep as you'd like.
I grew up in a super emotionally abusive household. I would have told my 22-year-old self to break up with my parents at that time and not wait till I was 42. I would have said, your mental health, you're going to be crushed for 20 more years unless you do something about it now.
Yeah.
So
with my father, I love him. We're best friends. We speak twice a week. We text all the time. But he hears me say this on the show, but he worked in the line at General Motors, and it was like, we didn't have that identity, for that mindset. And luckily I hung out with people that I became a poser, really just to kind of fit in, because I was good at sports and whatnot. And I grasped onto that. Right. And I didn't break up with my father, but I really separated myself for a little bit to get to somewhere. But then I got myself, I know this didn't happen to you, but I got too big for my britches and lost everything. And the first person that was there for me was Dad. So he was like,
Yeah.
here's $300 for those new tires. And that's where we really started rebuilding the relationship with that. So, but I understand that if you have a background that pulls you down, that you
Yeah.
got to just, cut loose. Hopefully it's not forever for people, but you do have to kind of cut that loose. I 100% understand.
There was no talk of mental health back then. There was
None. Are you kidding me?
I didn't have any mentors to say, hey, you don't actually have to live like that.
Right. I'm
It was,
sorry. For some reason, I attracted them, but I get it. If I didn't, I would have been the same, 100%.
yeah.
How do you want, Pam, your dash remembered? That little line in between your incarnation date and your expiration date. Hopefully it's a long ways down the road, but your life date and death date. How does Pam want her dash remembered?
Helping inspire people on their fitness journey and health journey every single day.
Yeah. Yeah. And live, what is it? 108 years is a million hours or something like that, right? A million hours.
Yeah.
That's what I would love to reach. I always tell Susan, you're 7 years older, so you got to live to 115. We just got to laugh about that. No, that's beautiful. I love how you're quick and concise and know what you really want. But I also think that you've really kind of are going to be sliding across home plate, bumped and bruised, knowing that you did the world. It's just a fantastic deed. And what do you think then? Because we walk in kind of the same shoes. You're like a sister from a different mister, right? What do you think then people misunderstand about you the most?
Well, that I've always had it easy. And I try to post every Thursday. Like I have struggled with my weight myself a couple times in my life. And people look at you right now and go, oh, you got it easy. You don't ever struggle. Everybody struggles.
Yeah.
And you don't know anybody's backstory.
No.
Everybody has struggles.
Yeah.
It's
and recognize that, luckily now I went through some stuff in the military with PTSD and whatnot, and I'm able to now be brought into the mental hygiene part of just understanding that everybody has a backstory even before Afghanistan. They're pulling forward into the future, and so many people have a foot in the past, a foot in the future, and they piss all over the present, right? And that's where you really just want to keep them neutral and keep them, there. And I just watching your stuff, that I believe that's what you do. You keep them neutral and in the moment a lot. Am I correct in that, or am I wrong?
1,000,000%. Okay. Nobody
Okay.
can change what's already happened.
Right.
We can't worry about what's going to happen. All we have is today.
Yes. Love it. And even with my coaching clients, Pam, I say, the rearview mirror is small for a reason, right? For that, past is a great place to learn from, but just don't live there. No matter, even if it was good, there's so much more that huge dashboard that's ahead of you, but you ain't getting anywhere unless you eyes on the road, put it in drive and go, because so many people intend to do stuff or decide to do stuff, but they never take action. And with that, what is some of the protocol that you use? I'm sorry, it's military. I say protocol.
No.
What kind of protocol do you use to maybe make them, like Tony Robbins says, take that massive action in their life?
Well, I find with people's health, the worst thing they can do is try to change too many things at once. Think of like the New Year's resolutions. I'm going to give up carbs, stop drinking wine, do an hour of cardio, blah, blah. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Let's habit stack with your health. So take one thing at a time.
Yes.
Excel at it, and then take the next thing.
Yes.
Number one thing for people is sleep. If you do not sleep enough, you are going to crave sugar the next day. You're not going to exercise. You're not going to want to make a nice big salad because you're feeling lazy.
Yes.
Get your sleep under control first, foremost, always.
Yes. This little gadget here, this Aura ring.
I have one too.
Has me locked in on sleep now because, I was bad, and Susan's like, I'm getting you this because they say it works. And it does, because now it's like, I'm up at 4:30 and I'm on the jujitsu mats, by 6, 3 mornings a week. And if I don't get that 6.5 to 7 for me, as I found, it gets my score into the 90s, then I'm just junk, for the day. Sleep is paramount. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I love my Oura ring. That's the first thing I get up. I'm like, what's my score this morning?
Right? It's me too. I love it. I love it. So, what are three things that Pam can't live without?
Exercise,
Okay,
coffee,
there you go.
walking my dog.
Love it. What do you put in your coffee?
I assume you're not talking about family, because of course I love my my husband
Yeah,
and my
no,
kids.
that's a given.
Okay.
Air, water, food, family.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
I like Nut Pods creamer.
Really? Okay.
It's a coconut and almond based creamer, and it's thick and yummy. And I mean, I would love to drink heavy cream, but I'm 55. I can't afford to drink heavy cream in my coffee.
Yeah, I feel you. Same here. I love, you got heavy whipping cream and stuff. And when Susan made all this stuff for Christmas, I was like a little thing of heavy whipping cream. So until that was gone, I drank it. But have you ever tried Laird's?
I do. Laird's
Okay.
is delicious. I use that when I travel. I bring it with me when I travel.
Good. I just was wondering because I was going to turn you on to that because I absolutely love it. Beautiful. So then, Pam, what is your definition of a life well lived?
A life well lived is doing what you are so passionate about doing.
Yes. Right.
And not saying, I find so many women say, I wish I could, or I hope I have. You got to do it.
Yes.
And my
Yes.
tagline is your health is your wealth. And that, because when you do not have your health, you don't have anything.
You can't. Yeah.
I saw my dad died from Alzheimer's. My husband or my father-in-law died of obesity. Their quality of life was terrible. And I
Right.
think too many people don't think about the future. Like I'm 55. My 65-year-old self thanks me for what I'm doing today because I'm going to feel great at 65.
Wow. So your older self thanks you for your present self. Wow. That's amazing. And that's you live you walk the talk, and I see it, and I love that you put it out there on the platforms. That's just a blessing. It's funny that you said your health is your wealth. My company in 2008 was called Healthy Wealth Today.
Stop
Right.
it.
I still own the URL. Right. But I was getting, like, for lack of a better term, shadow banned, meaning like the search engine saw wealth in it. And so once I switched it, because I've always owned time, it was Time to Shine personal training, Time to Shine this. I had all of those under Time to Shine. And my coach was like, just call it Time to Shine. And then, so once I switched it and moved all the content over, it was like things were getting noticed. It's just too bad because I still own Healthy Wealth Today. One day I'm going to relaunch that. That's awesome. Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. We are back, and Pam, we will hook up live one day and enjoy a cup of coffee because I am right here with you in mine, and we'll have a discussion. A few of these questions we'll probably talk about 20, 30 minutes. But today,
okay,
we're very strict about this. 5 seconds with no explanation, so they can all be answered that way. You ready to level up?
Ready to level up.
Let's do it. Pam, what is the best leveling up advice you've ever received?
Find your why and go after it.
Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
Daily exercise.
Yeah. So you see me kind of walking down the street or in an event, or Fergie looks like he's in his doldrums. Outside of the books that you've fantastically authored, what book might you hand me?
Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins.
David, I know DG. He's a good guy. Awesome. What's your most commonly used emoji when you text?
Definitely smiley face.
Yay. Nicknames growing up?
Pammy.
Hey, love it. Chess, checkers, or Monopoly?
Checkers.
Me too. I'm right there with you. So when you do this, what is your go-to ice cream flavor?
Vanilla.
Me too. We are so connected. So there's a sandwich called the Pammy Whammy. Build that sandwich for me.
Toasted sourdough.
There you go.
Goat cheese.
Ooh.
Fresh
Good
basil.
Yeah.
Sliced turkey.
Ooh. Nice.
And a little bit of garlic aioli.
Ooh, aioli. Yeah. There you go.
Toasted in a panini press.
Panini stop. Love it. Love it. Love it. So, favorite charity and or organization you'd like to give your time or money to?
Boys and Girls Club of America.
Thank you. Good call. And last question, you can elaborate a little bit on this one, but what was the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
80s, 1000%.
Yeah, I know. It's, you probably graduated, what, 85, 86?
85.
85. Okay. I was 90. So it was like we had the invasions from U2 and Duran Duran from out of the country. You had the kind of rap with Run DMC and the Beastie Boys. You had the big hair, don't care. You had the glam rock, metal rock. Everything just happened. And it's funny, Pam, songs today use hooks from the songs in the 80s. Like, it's crazy, right? Like Flo Rida or Pitbull. I'm like, wait a minute, that's Aha's Take On Me in his song, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. But yeah, we're gonna be good friends. I love this. So Pam, how can we find you, my friend?
Okay, my website is theperfectbalance.guru. TikTok and Instagram is Pam_Sherman1. And that's really where I do the most. Oh, and my YouTube channel is Pam Sherman, The Perfect Balance, where I have loads of videos. I have a stretching playlist. I have a 10-minute playlist. And before people go, 10 minutes, Scott, 10 minutes is better than 0 minutes every day of the week.
I love it.
So I have lots of things to help inspire. And I always bring my TikTok over to my YouTube because I don't know who my YouTube audience is.
Right.
So I figure might as well share as much as I can.
Heck, you still have 2,500 subscribers on YouTube. That's amazing. That's good. And they're getting engagement. So that's beautiful. So tell us maybe about one of your books that really stands out that you love to give out as a gift. Because Squad, she has 8 books that she's authored here, and they're all fantastic. They're all quick reads, and they're all chock full of knowledge nuggets and information you can implement right now. But what's that one, Pam, that you really love?
I'm having trouble between the Perfect Balance Workbook and the 3M Daily Journal. I find that it's too easy not to think about your health, and both of those make you think about your health on a daily basis. What's your motivation? How are you going to move your body? And Are you going to be mindful in your eating? If you put those things together, that makes an incredible day. So probably the 3M Journal I'm going to say is going to be my favorite.
Gotcha. So Squad, what I'm going to do is I'm going to purchase the Perfect Balance Workbook and the Daily 3M Journal for the first person that puts in Pammy Whammy into, I don't care if you text it to us. I don't care if it's on Pinterest, Instagram. My good friend Pam got me going on to TikTok now, which will be launched this weekend for me. Anywhere you put that in, I will love to purchase it. And Pam, if you don't mind just John Hancocking it and just send it out, that would be fantastic. And Pam, do me one last solid and leave us with one last knowledge nugget we can take with us, internalize, and take action on.
I think it would be amazing when you wake up every day to start the day with gratitude.
I have each one of my coaching clients eat a gratitude sandwich every day. And what I mean by that is, your first line, which is bread, it says, your intentions, your wins from yesterday, and who you're sending good vibes to. The middle is your concerns for the day. And then I have them list 14 things that they are absolutely grateful for underneath. And then it, like a sandwich, squeezes it out. So I love that you have people wake up and want people to wake up with gratitude. And that's just, fantastic. And Squad, I just had a fantastic, fun conversation with my good friend, Pam Sherman, and rock star author. She grew up with 2 big brothers, so she had kind of that sporty background. She had motivation. She's born with motivation just bleeding out of her pores. She believes in competition with that person in the mirror. Don't be afraid to outdo that person from yesterday, because she said that our society is set up for people to fail. You work daily towards your healthiest self. And if you need help with that, let me introduce you to my good friend, Pam. She will remind us not to shop the aisles at grocery stores or your health food stores. Stand the perimeters where food actually rots if it sits there too long. Get into those. It's okay to eat when you're hungry. It's just don't rent your food, which I love that. Like if you're eating Taco Bell, McDonald's, once a year, okay, I get it. But still, you're renting that food. It's not doing nothing for your body. There's no return on investment that will help you with that. And basically, she said, if grandma doesn't recognize it, don't eat it. And if you want some really good ideas, go to her website for her favorite recipes. And besides her Sadie Hawkins asking her hubby out, getting hit by the car was the best thing that's ever happened to her. She expanded her reach with that. And if you don't know something or you want to get leveled up and you don't know who to turn to, remember, you can always get your asking gear. Ask for that help. You reach out to me and I will put you directly in touch with Pam. She also will remind you, don't look to change everything like now and at once, because if you are overweight, like I have been, and even Pam mentioned she's been, it didn't take her a month to put on that weight, or me a month to put on that weight. It took time. So remember, as I always talk about, inch by inch, it's a cinch. By the yard, it's hard, right? Just do it at incremental times of your day. And what you're doing now, if you're 25, 35, if you're 25, your 35-year-old self is thanking you, or not so much thanking you, for what you're doing with yourself. So make sure that what you're doing today, your older self is going to thank you. And lastly, wake up with that attitude of gratitude. Remember, your vibe attracts your tribe. If you are waking up and you're feeling gratitude, you're going to attract those people. And that's what my good friend Pam does. She's planting trees she's probably never going to sit in the shade of. She levels up her health. She levels up her wealth. She's funny, fantastic, beautiful, and she's earned her varsity squad letter here at Time to Shine today. Thank you so much for coming on. I absolutely love your guts, Pam.
It's been amazing. I have a new bestie. Thank you.
Yay for the Rusty. We'll chat soon.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Time to Shine Today podcast. Proudly brought to you by Sutter & Nugent Real Estate Excellence, who can be reached at 561-249-7266 and online at www.sutterandnugent.com. If you are a business owner or professional who would like to be interviewed on Time to Shine Today, please visit timetoshinetoday.com/guest. If you like this episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. There's a link in the show notes to our website. Also there, you will see our recommended resources. We hope that you will support our show by supporting them. If you like what you've been listening to, it'd be great if you could just give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe while you're at it. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson, and until next time, let's level up. It's our time to shine.